Welcome to our final speech and language parent training for school year 2021 through 2022. Today we're going to talk about supporting language skills through summer reading at home. In this brief parent training on supporting language in summer reading, we have three main topics we're going to cover. First, we're going to start with discussing the benefits of summer reading. And then I'd like to give you some local resources for supporting summer reading at home. And finally, we're going to talk about some language strategies you can use for supporting your child with reading at home. Let's begin with discussing the benefits of summer reading. First and foremost, it helps reduce the summer slide. Summer slide is the idea that over the summer, children, lose skills. They lose reading levels and math levels and other academic levels because they're not utilizing these skills over the summer. So just by reading at home, you can help reduce that summer slide so your child doesn't lose any skills over the summer. Additionally, summer reading has been shown to improve reading achievement. And particularly as a speech-language pathologist, our department is interested in using reading to help with developing language skills. So comprehension and being able to discuss what you've read in the story. All of those skills can be targeted with summer reading over their break. And then finally, summer reading has been shown to create a positive experience with reading. Students become more motivated and develop an enjoyment for reading, which really is what we want for all of our kids. Now that we've discussed the benefits of summer reading, I wanted to talk a little bit about local resources that are available to you. The DC Public Library runs a summer reading program. They're calling it their Summer Challenge. You can find detailed information about it at the website on this page, dclibrary.org/discover summer. The Summer Challenge is essentially an opportunity for children to read and complete learning activities at home. They record these within an app, and then they are entered for chances to win prizes like Nats tickets or free books, as well as gift cards to local restaurants. So it should make summer reading a little bit more exciting for your child if they have an opportunity to participate in this type of program. In addition, if you're kind of wondering, like, where am I going to get the books? What kind of books are appropriate for my kid? The DC Public Library has an excellent list of possible reading selections. They break it down both into kids and teens. So on the first link, we'll go through and we'll take a look at what it looks like when you click the kids link, and then we'll also take a look at the teens link. So let's go ahead and do that. So the book lists are organized by grade, and here I've collected the third grade selection. Feel free to go ahead and look at either the grade your child is going into or the grade they just completed, because what's really important is to choose a book that will be interesting to your child and isn't too challenging that they get frustrated and don't want to complete it. So if you take a look at the third grade suggestions here, a couple things I wanted to point out. First of all, there are a variety of different types of texts, both fiction and nonfiction, and that's a nice balance for kids, so they're not necessarily reading all fiction stories. They also have an opportunity to read some nonfiction and informational texts. So on the left-hand side here are the different books, and then on the right-hand side, what you'll see is when you click on a book, what it looks like. So I've clicked on the book Unspoken. It gives me a brief summary of it, lets me know how many pages it is, and then it also will list the libraries where it is available at. So before you even leave and go to your library, you're able to take a look and see whether or not that book is available. And then you can also place a hold if your child is really excited about the book and you don't want anybody to take it out before you get there. For teens, they have a similar book list. Again, it's organized by grade. A variety of different types of texts are available, and a similar format, again, where you click on the book. So if we looked at Enchanted Earth, we are then able to get a summary, and this summary was a little bit longer, so it cut off, but similarly to the children's book, it lists the libraries that it is available at. So you should be able to find a variety of texts for your child to check out and participate in summer reading. And for the last part of our training, we wanted to discuss strategies you can use to support language with your child when you're reading. So I'm going to break this up to young readers, so pre-K through elementary school, and then I'm going to, the next slide, talk about teens, which I'm defining as middle school, high school. So for our young readers, this comes from a shared reading training that we did earlier in the school year, and hopefully you were able to listen to. But if you didn't have an opportunity at that point to listen to it, I've also provided the link so you can go back to it and listen now, as well as the QR code. So if you just take a picture of that QR code on the right-hand side of this slide, it will take you to our shared reading training. But to review some of the strategies that you can use, first, go ahead and let your child be in the driver's seat when it comes to choosing what they read, so it doesn't feel like work. This is really important and spans all ages. It should be fun. So let them choose texts that have pictures that are interesting to them, or topics. If they're really into learning about dinosaurs, then perhaps you're reading a variety of books about dinosaurs. And then you want to read with your child, right side by side them. If your child wants to, let them hold the book and turn the pages. For our emerging early readers, let them read the book their own way. So they might just be looking at the pictures and talking about the pictures and aren't yet ready to read all of the words on the page, and that's okay. You'll also want to discuss what you read before you turn each page. So you read the page, stop and ask some open-ended questions. That's what we mean when we talk about discussing what was read. You might comment on, oh, wow, he sure looks angry that happened. Why do you think he looks angry? So again, you're discussing the picture and what you read, and then asking follow-up questions about that. Whenever possible, relate the story to your child's own experiences. And then expand on what your child says. So if they say, you know, he's angry because he fell down, you can expand on it and say, yeah, he's angry because he fell down and he hurt his knee. So you're adding just a little bit more. Again, if you want more information on how to do this, we have an entire training available that we did earlier in the school year. So please go ahead and click back there if you haven't watched it already. And finally, we're going to go ahead and talk about strategies to support language when reading with our older students, so our teen readers, middle schoolers, high schoolers. First, similarly to our younger students, you want to allow your child to select the reading materials. We want it to be interesting, fun, and an engaging experience, so if your child wants to read about characters that are about their age or have similar life experiences, go ahead and let them do that. Or if they're interested in some sort of STEM topic, again, foster that interest and that selection. For some of our students who struggle with reading, we have found that graphic novels and audiobooks can be helpful ways to work on language skills with reducing the amount of text that the child needs to read. So on the right here, you'll see a graphic novel, When the Stars Are Scattered. And while it might look like a picture book, the text and themes are geared for older students. So they can still read about topics that are meaningful to them with perhaps a little bit less text on the page. The next strategy I'm going to suggest is to read the book with your child. Now, as students get older, they may not want you reading right to them. So you could do this in a book club format where you each read a chapter a day and then talk about it at dinner or breakfast the next day. Any way to make it fun or engaging, and it doesn't necessarily have to be reading to them. You want to aim for about 20 minutes a day of reading, 20, 30 minutes, not much more, because again, you want it to be fun and exciting and not stressful. As you guys are reading the text together at the same time, have open-ended discussions about the text. How do you think the character felt when this happened? How would you feel if that happened to you? What would happen if the setting were different? If you could ask the author a question, what would you like to know? And would you recommend this book to a friend? What's most important here is really that it's an enjoyable experience for you and your child. With those types of positive experiences, they'll be more likely to continue reading over the summer. And again, that continued engagement and enjoyment will result in positive outcomes. We wish you the best of luck this summer with summer reading, and we hope you enjoy your summer. We very much look forward to seeing you next school year for additional parent trainings. Thank you and take care.